Where do you go when I close my eyes? When I finally realize you're not here with me. Where do you go when I close my eyes? When I finally realize you're not here with me. Where do you go?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your friend Nuke here for another edition. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm going to talk today about loneliness, especially during the holidays, because it is that time of year, guys, where a lot of people reflect on the year behind them, and then they start to feel alone because they haven't they haven't fixed their relationship with family or loved ones. They haven't gotten a girlfriend, if you're a female, or a boyfriend. Just we'll get into that. You guys know where to find me. My link tree is up there. Link tree, nuclearcaudillo. You guys follow me on all socials and all that. I'm mostly active on Twitter and on Twitch as well. I game sometimes, but my stuff's streaming over there if you prefer to watch me over there. YouTube memberships are open. Feel free to super chat if you would like to support the channel. And thank you again for you guys being here and watching me. So, excuse me. Let me pull up my outline and all that before we tonight. It is pretty crispy night here in Dallas. So just give me 1 second here. I accidentally closed the window. So holiday loneliness, right? It's something that yeah. That was weird. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but so basically, what ends up happening is that it's the end of the year. People start reflecting on their life, their past year. It's just kind of like a report card for a lot of people in terms of what they did. So, and a lot of the activities that during the holidays involve, loved ones, girlfriend, boyfriend. So we'll get into that, right? So loneliness, it's an issue that not a lot of the big people in charge or who are intellectuals really care that much, right? They say they do. They say, oh, males, they're lonely, and then that's it. That's where it ends, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone intrinsically knows that a man's life is his own, and like is self-improvement is a very individual task, right? They can go on whatever show or whatever podcast or whatever platform and say it sucks being a man right now, and that's what they'll get money, they'll get a whole bunch of money, they'll get you know, they'll be seen as intellectuals for just pointing out the obvious. Like every man understands his struggles, you know. So that they really don't help. There really isn't much help for guys because um for guys in order for guys to improve their lives, you know, they have to do it from within. So we can't talk about this. We can't do this forever. We can't talk about male issues and then do nothing forever, right? If they really care, and they don't. I promise you, they don't care that much. So, how did we get here for male loneliness? You know, there's several reasons. I say social media and the atomization of men, right? It used to be back in the day before social media. Like, if you wanted to hang out with your friends, you had to go knock on their door or call them, right? You could just go online and kind of have a second order or fake relationships with guys from across the world. Even though I met some pretty cool guys online, but everyone has to have in real life friends that they see from time to time, right? And sometimes those online friends become real life friends, which is good too, right? Guys, don't be afraid to use your platform online to meet people because there's some great people that you may not find as easily where you're at. You know, you filter better online for people, right? So the yeah, so social media really kind of like isolated. It made us more connected to people that are far away, but for people close to us, it just made us more isolated. Um, you have women entering male spaces and male workplaces, right? So back in the day, like say if you were in the military or whatever male job, um, you could joke around with your friends. You know, there would even be fights, there'd be disagreements, you know, all that stuff. And then there was this male bonding aspect. But you throw a girl in there, and it becomes like everyone's on their best behavior. You know, I think this has been talked about a lot, but like when you put women in a male space, whether it be anything, right? It really changes it to something where the woman wants to be comfortable and the guys can't be themselves anymore. So that affects friendships. Also, you have competition for that female. Guys tend to not be themselves when there's a woman nearby. You know, they're not going to act the same way that they did if it was just all guys. So, um, a lot of things happen to the male dynamic when a girl is thrown into the mix. So you can't really be friends as close um, as you would if there was no female in that. You know, so imagine if your favorite thing to do and there was a girl there, it'd kind of be weird, right? Like if you like to work on cars and you're restoring a car with your friends, imagine if he brought his girlfriend or he brought a female friend. It'd be like, what the heck, dude? You know, like that's why it's so important to have male only activities. Um, for most people, male only activities right now is like video games, like just playing Call of Duty or something, which isn't the best, but it's something, right? And I think if you have no way to talk to other guys, it's better to at least game, and at least you're talking to other guys and making fun of each other. But even that these days is being threatened because now there's a lot of policing of the speech in the the proverbial modern warfare lobby, where people are trying to control speech and behavior, right? And I wonder why that's happening exactly. Another reason is rise of sedations. So now that sedations are really powerful, next level stuff. Back in the day, if video games were awesome, but now they're like their budgets are as big as, or if not bigger than, movies. Games are starting to have like million, 8-figure budgets, 7-figure budgets. They have famous voice actors and famous actors to voice characters. Like video games are old, like such a crazy jump in video games in the last 10 years. Also, back in the day, you would have to really work hard to see naked women on a screen, and now you can have fake relationships with them for like $5.99 a month or $10.99 a month or whatever, right? So sedations are really powerful, and they pull you away from like masculine activity. So like maybe you said, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to play God of War, and I want to defeat dragons. I'd rather do that than play catch with my friends or something, or go play poker with my friends. Um, so sedations are pulling a man away from each other more in front of a screen, or more you know, to be by themselves. You know, lack of social. A lot of our time now is spent online, whether it be for work or whether it be for fun, Twitter, stuff like that. And you see this on Twitter a lot, where guys will act or talk in a certain way, or even women act or talk in a certain way that they would never talk in real life. Whether it be they see themselves as some kind of egomaniac, or they see themselves as some kind of like savior for people. And it's just like you could tell these people don't really touch grass. They're they live this double persona where online they're this cool Chad guy who knows everything, but then in real life they're boring. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to start conversations, right? So that's definitely gonna lead to you having less friends if you can't be funny in real life, if you can't be charming, if you're not fun to be around. No one wants to hang out with the guy that's always talking about conspiracy theories. No one wants to hang out with the guy that's always talking about red pill and women and intersexual dynamics. No one wants to be around the guy who just can't form a thought or isn't funny or witty or anything like that. So these skills, aren't developed. So it's harder, like, to people don't want to be around you because you're just not an interesting or fun person to be around, which is understandable. We have economic reasons, right? So people have to work more now um, to to survive. People they can't spend as much money to go out and do things, like maybe now your friends can't go to that fishing trip you go every year, or maybe your friends don't have that hobby you can work on, or any, like, hobbies cost money, right? And if your money is used to survive, you don't have money left over to go do things. um so at the end of the day, you have to make a decision and be like, okay, um what do I do? Do I want to save money, or do I want to hang out with my friends this weekend and go on go golfing? So especially for the younger guys that are still coming up, they're still struggling. Um, it's like it's a either or situation because of the economy. Plus, these young men are also trying to date, which dating is becoming expensive. So it's like, okay, um, yeah. And then you overall just lack of depression and motivation, right? Like, guys are hope. A lot of men are hopeless. A lot of men don't see a way out. A lot of men are just very um, they're sad. They don't know what to do. They're just stuck. Like, how do I make friends? You see this on like 4chan boards and all that stuff, like different message boards where guys are just like, what do I do? And I'm just like, well, talk to everyone. And they're like, how do I do that? And it's just like they're kind of hopeless. So um at, at the end of the day, like, there's probably maybe there's more reasons and stuff like that, but those are the ones I've observed and kind of like, yeah, it's just, the six reasons. And social media, women entering male spaces and workplaces, rise of sedations, lack of social skills, economic reasons, and depression, lack of motivation. There's always been sedations, right? um but now the sedations are really, like, they really keep you at home, right? Like, sometimes, even now, like, I sometimes hope women cancel so I could just stay home and play video games or play. Now there's some sedations that are healthy that keep you, like, playing piano. I think that's a healthy sedation, but it's solitary unless you start a band, right? So we'll get into that, how to turn your sedations or your hobbies into more social, so you're not as lonely this holiday season, right? So um just want to shout out, we have Chat of Arabia in the chat. What's up, man? We got Ilmatical. What's up, man? Nice to see you here. We got the great and powerful Marty in sales. What's up, man? We got some guys on Twitch. um I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I'll follow you back on Twitch when I get a moment. Um, yeah. So yeah, like what Chad said, just talk to you. But yeah, it's hard for guys to just like have a conversation. They're just so stuck in their own head, and they've spent so much time online that they kind of lost the grip on reality and how people really are. And a lot of shows, video games, and whatever reinforce these weird ideas and these weird ways of interacting with people. But in real life, like if you do certain things, you'll get punched. If you do certain things, like something something that's really good to do for people who have struggled. Just go out and give compliments to people, and you'll realize how good it feels because they're giving you feedback. They smile, they say thanks, right? Go give compliments to people. Find something. Be creative, right? If they have a cute dog, be like, oh, I love your dog. What breed is that? That's so cool, right? If a girl's wearing some nice shoes, I'm like, your shoes are really good. You have good taste. That's all. Nothing crazy, right? Or if for guys it's a little harder because guys we just wear a t-shirt and jeans, right? But like just go out and compliment people and you'll feel good. You'll start realizing what it takes to like connect with people, someone failed you along the way. Someone told you that not socializing and being online all day is good, and that kind of like takes you away from the real world. You start thinking of yourself in a weird way and all that, and it sucks because, for example, I go to salsa night, right? And the other night I saw this like 6'4" black dude. He looked like a Mac, he was dressed to the nines, blue suit, like he looked like a Mac. And I'm like, man, this dude's gonna clean up tonight. But he just stood in the corner in the dark watching everyone else dance with these Latinas, right? And it just made me sad. I'm just like, dude, like you got dressed so nice. You're a tall guy, Um, black you're a black guy, so I'm gonna assume you're smooth with the ladies. At least you know your way around a good conversation. But there you are in the corner, right? Like, wow, like you did all that. Like, talk to somebody, open up conversation, do something, try, go to the class, and you don't want to be that person. You want to be social, and you want to at least try, because if not, you're just gonna be that guy who dresses nice and improves their whole life, but they can't have a conversation or even ask a beautiful woman to dance, and that's a sad way to live life, right? So yeah. Um anyways, so is loneliness always bad? Is it bad to be always lonely? Yes and no. So here's why loneliness is bad, right? First off, is because you're a human being. Biologically speaking, the only reason we're here and we've gotten this far is because we are social creatures, right? Cooperation. Um, Humans really are one of our biggest evolutionary advantages, besides being bipedal and having thumbs and stuff like that, is that we collaborate, we work together to do things, right? And guys, we tend to bond over doing activities, right? Whether it be gaming or working on a car, sports, all those things. That's where we shine as men, because that's we in doing things is how men bond, right? But for women it's more like talking. So women will go to a coffee shop and talk, and that's how they bond, right? That's why on a date, if you want to bond with a woman, just let her talk, ask her about herself, let her go, and she'll feel more connected to you, right? There is a point once you guys get good enough with women where you're having a conversation and she's just talk 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 talk. She's been talking for 10 minutes, you keep asking her questions. You're gonna notice that she starts feeling very relaxed, very very relaxed out of nowhere, right? You're also going to notice that she's going to be like, wait, but tell me more about you. You'll give her a little bit of you, and then you're back to her, right? And you'll realize like she's getting more and more and more relaxed, and then that's how women bond, right? Game lesson right there. So the biggest thing on a date is that you'd want to talk as little about yourself as you can, as appropriate, and you want to ask them questions that get them talking about themselves, right? But that's a topic for another day. um but yeah, but same thing applies to socializing and men or women meeting in general, right? You talk to people, don't talk about yourself as much unless asked. Ask about them, give them a compliment, and all that. So anyways, yes, you are a social being. Also, being social in real life holds you accountable, right? So if you're a weird dude and you have no friends, you're going to continue being weird for a long time. And then your friend group is supposed to catch you and be like, hey dude, you're being weird, you're weird for this, or you're corny for this, or you're not funny, dude, or you need to stop doing this, right? They're the first ones to make fun of you, to correct behavior if they care about you, right? But you don't want that behavior to be corrected by your boss. You don't want that behavior to be corrected by your wife, and you definitely don't want that behavior to be corrected online, right? You want that behaviors those behaviors, those bad behaviors that you have as a man, you want them to be corrected by your friends, right? We're not women. Guys will call each out other guys because we're susceptible to accountability. So if I'm hanging out with some friends and one of my friends does something stupid or funny or whatever, we reinforce that. If we have a funny friend, we all laugh and be like, "Damn, dude, you got jokes." Or if a friend is acting weird or stupid, we're like, "Damn, dude, you're an idiot, bro. Why would you do that?" And that's as men that have that do better in the real world because they've had before going out to the real world, they had their group of friends who they could trust to like judge them, but at the same time, be loyal to them and have their back, right? So you want that. And a lot of guys, and you notice that one of the ways to tell that a man is lonely or doesn't have friends is that they're just weird. And they didn't have friends because they were weird. They were weird because they didn't have friends, because they had behaviors and acted a certain way where to the point where like, hey, no one said, "Hey dude, what you're doing is weird," and then they just live life like that. So yeah. Um all right. So it's also loneliness is bad, because also you need help in life, right? You're gonna need help, and I don't mean help like open up, talk, blah blah. I mean help like, man, maybe you need someone to take you to the hospital, or maybe you need someone to help you with a favor, or someone that's um you know men, you're gonna need somebody one day, no matter whether you like it or not, right? You're going to need a friend. Often women are the ones to step up the most, you know especially if she's into you. They're women are pretty good at this when they're into you, to step up to help you for a favor, right? But you're not always gonna have women in your life. Women come and go, so it's good to have a group of dudes that you can rely on, right? Someone that to help you kind of get through something or a favor. Like, hey, I got into a car, God forbid, right? I got into a car accident. Can you take me to the hospital? Or hey, um, my apartment flooded. Can I stay with you tonight? Or hey, whatever you need as a guy, it's good to have someone to help you. So you don't want to be so lonely that you don't have people you can rely on. If you don't have people you can rely on, you really need to start thinking about like, what would happen if you need to rely on somebody, right? You don't want to be that lonely person who has to fly all the way back home to your parents because you have no one to rely on, even though you've been alone for years. You've been on your own as an adult for years, right? But yeah. All right, we got a super chat from Nico. You get one of these, sir. Hold on.
Thank you so much, best friend.
All right. His Nico says, "Keep up the good work, man. You're doing great. Thank you. I will not stop. I will keep going for you guys. Thanks for watching tonight, and thanks for being patient. I started a little late. My parents were over, and they were cleaning up to go. So they're in town. They're staying with my brother, but yeah, I didn't want to rush my parents out of my house. So but yeah, thanks again, Nico. Where was I? So yeah, and also apart from people being able to rely on people, you also need to be a human need is serving others, right? People go on these podcasts, especially women go on these podcasts to talk about like, how much they want to take away from people. Everyone's so obsessed about what they can get out of the other person, right? But I can tell you right now, I feel good when I do things for people I care about, right? And women feel good for doing things for people they care about, right? That's actually how they fall in love, guys. They don't fall in love by guys doing things for them, right? They fall in love by you doing things, or by them doing things for you, right? So all humans, we have this need to feel useful, and we have this need to feel like we can be relied on, right? So if you're lonely, you don't have that. If you don't have that, you're going to start feeling useless to other people. What you want to do is like, whenever a friend needs something of you, you step up and you help them. Obviously, if they're taking advantage of you, you should be wary of that. But for the most part, hey, I'm stuck. Can you help me change this tire on the highway? Or hey, man, can you take care of my dog? Or hey, this, or like, um, and that's how you build a relationship with people, is being useful and adding value to their life. You don't just exist. You can't just exist. You have to be the guy that they can rely on, because that creates a bigger connection. So that's why it's bad to be lonely, because you need help, and you also need to help people. That's part of being a human, is collaboration and feeling useful, right? So uh is loneliness always bad? Sometimes it isn't. So it's time to reflect, right? Um, Sometimes you get to step back from a noisy life, or a crazy life, and just look back and be like, hey, I'm never. I need time to think. I need like a week or two to be alone, and just not alone, but like not hang out with anyone. Just do your thing. Maybe focus on solo projects or stuff like that. You get a lot of time to think and just reflect, and times that uh perspectives that you wouldn't have gained if you're always around other people. So it's good to be alone when you're at a point of your life where you need to reflect, big decisions coming up, or anything like that, right? um you also, when you're alone, you have opportunities to do solitary work, like writing, reading, playing, learning music, any art, any solo art endeavor. You know, I feel most inspired to play piano when I've been alone for a while. So um, but yeah, um, you you go through life thinking that being alone is bad or being alone is good, but it's pros and cons, guys. Um, and it's also a good time to recharge, right? Like, after, I don't know about you guys, but after a week of social, or a weekend of socializing, partying, or whatever, or going on dates, or spending the whole day with a girl, I like to have that Monday or that Sunday night to myself. I want to be completely alone. I just want to pop in a movie, or just relax, let my mind wander. I need that social battery. I need to recharge, and by Wednesday, I'm back at salsa night, or I'm back doing this, and I'm ready to go. And it's really nice to be on Monday and Tuesday. It's really nice to be just completely no plans, just alone, and with my work, or whatever I'm doing. So there's that. But yeah, why is loneliness felt the most during the holidays? Right, like I was mentioning before, all the activities, they're planned around hanging out with loved ones, right? Like, um, for example, Thanksgiving, obviously the food. There's Black Friday. Um, there's you know, Halloween. You shouldn't go to Halloween by yourself. It's like you're with your group of friends. Thanksgiving's more your family and all that stuff. So and Christmas and New Year's, all that is centered around family, and family, friends, and people that you care about, right? There's not a lot of like things that you can that apply to you alone, right? So that's one reason why holidays are, you start feeling that loneliness during the holidays. Um, Holidays affect women a lot too. Like I said before in my thread, like the holidays are a report card, a relationship report card for men, or for women, right? So they'll go through the whole year, partying, having fun. Men ain't this, whatever, and then they have their summer flings and all that stuff, and then it becomes the holidays, and all of a sudden all the flings dry up. Guys start getting cuffed, or ghosted, or whatever, and there they are on Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, all cozied up, and then they have no one to spend the holidays with, right? Uh, they become very, I'm not going to say desperate, but their need for comfort shoots through the roof. So that's why, during these holidays, that's why I say fire up those dating apps, because women are looking for companionship, at least for the holidays, right? um so you take advantage of it, just like they take advantage of us all year. Let's take advantage of them and their loneliness, just like they do for us, right? It's manipulation. They want somebody. Why not it be you, right? um so as long as I forgot where I was going with this. uh you understand too that it's men and women that feel lonely, but women feel a little bit more lonely, right? Because of the relationship aspect. Guys, we're used to not being in a relationship. We're used to, hell, a lot of us are used to not having sex whenever we want it, right? So, women are pretty much more victims of this than we think. But you know, I'm not here to help women. So, all right. So also another reason people feel lonely during the holidays, it's the like the family aspect where let's say you were trying to repair relationships with family, and if you failed and like they're not at Thanksgiving now, or you feel the absence of like family members that passed recently, like, and only and ex-girlfriends, like, for guys, if last year maybe they celebrated Thanksgiving and made a lot of good memories with the girlfriend, and now this Thanksgiving and Christmas and Halloween, they didn't feel they don't have anybody, right? And that makes it worse, because now you're like, man, I remember when I did this with this person, and now I feel alone. They're not here, so you feel their absence even worse, right? You hear this with people like, oh, this is our first Christmas or first Thanksgiving without your father, or without your mother, without your aunt, because they passed or left the family, or there was a conflict, or they broke up or something. So it's like you feel it more because at this time last year they were with you, and you were making great memories, and the memories start popping up again. So yeah, it's a tough time for people, right? And that's why, especially now, we need to be kinder to people. For you womenizers right there, for the women, try to do a little bit more aftercare. Like maybe give them some coffee in the morning if they stay the night. Be patient with your family. Your family, your parents did the best they can, hopefully. So, don't bring try to enjoy the holidays. Don't be the lone wolf these holidays, right? That's overrated. So, um ultimately, yeah, you guys have to understand that loneliness is about trade-offs, right? Like, life is about trade-offs, right? So you may feel lonely, but one thing you can definitely feel when you're lonely is peace, right? You have a very quiet apartment. There's people that would love to, like, have a day where they just don't have to answer their phone, or they don't have to deal with their wife or husband or kids, where they could just be at peace and not worry about anyone or anything. They could just sit and play video games and not worry. So you have to understand that, like, if you are lonely, realize, like, that doesn't mean sit on your ass and do nothing, right? But also it means that, like, hey, there is things that come with loneliness that are good, like peace, right? Peace and quiet. um Also understand too, excuse me, that having a girlfriend or wife or even a family will not guarantee you won't be lonely, let alone happy, right? If you think for a second that, like, you having a girlfriend is going to unlock and take away the loneliness you have, you're mistaken, right? Loneliness it goes deeper than just having someone that cares about you care about them, right? Don't think for a second, because what's going to happen, excuse me, you're building a covert contract, meaning that, hey, if I had a girlfriend, I'd be happy. And I'm like, no, a girlfriend is a girlfriend isn't what's supposed to make you happy. You are supposed to make you happy. She's not in charge of your happiness. You are, right? By convincing yourself that if you had someone to spend the holidays with, that you'd be happy, you know. And I'm saying, like, girlfriend, um, then you're putting too much on her. That's not fair, right? You should be happy, and she should share in your happiness. You know, and the same thing could go for family, right? If you say, if only I would work things out with my dad or my brother, I'd be happy. And I'm like, you tried, and you tried to work things out with your family, or you've given up because it's become too stressful, or just you don't have any more energy for it. Um, Realize that you don't need your everything your family also to be perfect in order for you to um not feel lonely, right? You could have a perfect family and still feel lonely, right? Loneliness goes deeper than just a hot body next to you. It's like people that understand you, people that take into consideration your wants and needs, people that call you out when you're supposed to be called out, right? people that praise you, people that celebrate when you achieve something, right? Those are the things that make you feel not lonely, right? But you can totally have a girlfriend. You can have 20 people around you, right? Um, and they could all suck. They could all take you for granted. They could all just take from you, take, and then you realize, like, wow, I still feel lonely because these people don't care about me. They only care about what they can get out of me, right? And that's you're still lonely, right? Because it's a superficial relationship. There's nothing there, but like it's like they're only using you for something, right? So don't ever think that having a girlfriend or wife or having a perfect family or perfect friends is your ticket out of loneliness. There's I would rather be lonely myself and have no one than deal with people that only didn't bring anything to our friendship, relationship, or whatever. Um, and also, like, if you are lonely this season, right? Realize that there's going to be a day possibly where you're going to have two crying babies. You're going to have a stressed out wife, a dog, responsibilities, a higher position in your company. And you're going to look back on these days where you're just on the couch in your pajamas with a new video game or new series or whatever, feeling sorry for yourself. You're going to look back in those days. You're going to be like, wow, I really, really hope, I really miss those days. I really took them for granted when I could have done whatever I wanted, you know. But here, I mean, I love my family now, but it would have, I should have enjoyed those days more, right? So think about that for guys that, feel lonely or um, feel like all is lost because they don't have somebody. Realize that once you do find that girl, where if you keep working on yourself, you will, and you improve, and you maybe you have children with her, and your life gets more complicated, and you have a higher position at your company. You start maybe you get pets, a house, you get more responsibilities as a man. You're gonna look back and be like, man, I remember there was a time where all I had to do was get up, feed myself, and play video games, and I was lonely during the holidays, and that's all I had to worry about. Now I have all these responsibilities and things, and I like them, but like it's should have enjoyed those really chill days before. So yeah, um, work to be around people during the holidays. If you're really suffering from acute loneliness, like you just really feel like you want someone to talk to, go out there um and try to just to be around people for the holidays. Like go on Thanksgiving, go out for a walk. There's probably people walking their dogs. Just don't turn your house or apartment into a cave. Go out, talk to people, stop by. If you have a friend or something, stop by. Have them stuff by, like, hey, I'm doing this, you want to stop by real quick, and all that. Don't run away from it, right? Face your issues, face your demons. Your demon is loneliness. Go face it, go fight it. you know you're not this lone wolf crap isn't gonna make you feel better. You're not so cool that you can't talk to people and socialize, right? You need to cut the lone wolf stuff. You need help, just like everyone else does. Human beings, were social creatures. So yeah, um you need to um you need to don't don't get caught up in your own brain. Just give it a shot, right? You're not that special. You're a human being. Your needs are pretty much the same as everyone else's on earth. So and like I was saying before, girls are lonely this season, probably lonelier than you, right? Surprisingly enough. So fire up those dating apps and learn to go on dates, get these women back to your place, have fun, because these women are lonely, right? And they want to be around men, right? Believe it or not, guys, they if you stay online too much, you'll hear about how all women are good, or we're not good enough for them, right? But in real life, it does not reflect it by that, because in real life, um, they're lonely and they're looking for guys, and they still on apps, and they still want a guy to take them out on a date, right? And hopefully, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, they can lock down a guy before Christmas or something like that, right? So Yeah. And we have Jorge with the $5 super chat. And you get one of these, my friend.
Thank you so much, best friend!
The holidays are unfortunately the time where permanent solutions to temporary problems are thought and acted on the most chin up, gents. Yeah. I don't want to get too much into that, but I do have some personal stories where, especially when I was going through nuke school, during the holidays, they always gave us the talk, like if you feel lonely, blah blah blah. And then, sure enough, over the next couple weeks, like we had a guy jump off of a fifth story, fourth story. I think he survived though, and then we had an officer also do the thing, right? And these are people that had a lot going for themselves, right? They were sad, but whatever situation it was, I promise you, it was temporary. And people get sad, right? It's especially in the military because you're ripped out. Like I joined the Navy on November 4th, right? So I went through boot camp during the biggest two holidays, right? And I could tell there was people were sad that day. Obviously, it wasn't super important to me because I knew, like, it was like I know I'm gonna miss these holidays. It's whatever. But like, there are people that really their Thanksgiving and their Christmases were very special. So they were gonna miss, just missing one would made them feel alone. So at the end of the day, like no, there's no situation that is so bad that it's gonna last forever, right? So you know, it's hard to tell the signs, but I will say holidays is a season where you should really pay attention to your friends, really get more connected to them. Now's the time, right? Now's the time. You can spend all day online complaining about women and it sucks, blah blah blah. But are you the friend that's watching out for your friends, right? Are you doing things with your friend? Are you like, hey, let's go to the park and play catch, or hey, let's go walk my dog. Let's go do this together, right? Are you that friend? If you care so much about men and their plight, are you that friend that's trying to check on your friends and being a good guy, right? So yeah, thanks again, Jorge, for the $5 super chat. Um, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy that complains, but in his real life doesn't do anything for his fellow man, right? And just going to a friend, um, you know, and saying, "Hey, let's hang out," or like me personally, I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my place, so inviting some guys that aren't going home for the holidays or whatever, or just staying. So I'm inviting them over, and I'm going to make the turkey and all that stuff because I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, right? Like I talk about how much I care about guys and blah blah blah, but I'm going to, in real life, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to make Thanksgiving dinner for friends and other acquaintances, and we're gonna, I don't know, maybe play Mario Party or board games afterwards, right? So that's what um that's what you do as a man, right? You let people complain and talk about life and dating in the abstract online, but us in the real world, we're going to help the people we know in our circle. We're going to um we're going to keep tabs on our friends. We're going to um have sex with women, you know. We're gonna live life, right? Don't let this online stuff uh, get you too caught up, right? A lot of the people there, remember, um, it is easier to fake status and knowledge online than it is in real life, right? And in real life, most of these people are nobodies. You would never they, it doesn't matter what person, like it could be one of these rat femmes that hate men and do all this blah blah and shit on men all day, right? But I promise you, those women open doors for men. Those women say thank you to service personnel and people in the service industry. Those women look at a hot guy across the street and are like, man, that guy's hot. Those girls miss men in their life. They miss their brother. You know, they love men, right? They just hate that they do. Um, the 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 conservatives, they're also, it's all fake, guys. Like, I promise you, there's conservative guys that may like shame you for your degeneracy and all that stuff. Like, deep down, it's like, man, that's pretty cool. I can't say that it's cool, but it's pretty cool that this guy's just like walking up to girls and like talking to them and all that stuff, right? Um, there's so much fakery and BS online that sometimes I feel like a lot of people aren't ready for the internet. They're just um um they don't understand what the internet is. It's nuts. Like, internet, you can use it for to make money, to learn stuff, but you can also use it to insult people. You can use it to make yourself feel like you know what you're talking about, that your views, and you have a couple people that follow you and all that stuff. And then for girls, you show a little bit of titty meat, and then you have even more guys that follow you. And now you're saying even racist stuff online, and then you think, oh, that's so cool. But in real life, you would fucking never say that. You would fucking never say that. You know what I'm saying? And it's so pathetic, and that's, guys, one of the reasons I became a little bit more popular recently is because like I look at this behavior and I'm just like, this isn't real. Like, you guys, are you serious? Are you guys, this isn't real? Like, there's somebody on Twitter. See if I can pull it up. Um, she, oh, let me see if I could pull it up. 1 second, guys. It was her birthday today, and she's like, "Oh, it's my birthday. I can finally say the N word." Right? That's peak online persona. That's peak. What I am online is never what I'm gonna be in person, right? Because do you think she'd ever go to any black person and be like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can I say the N word?" She would never. She would never. But online, she's super confident enough to say that, right? But I bet you, if she popped into a store or she saw a lady cross the street, she wouldn't go up to them. If she was hanging out with black people in general, she wouldn't go up to them and be like, "Hey, it's my birthday. I'm gonna say the N word," right? Like, it's ridiculous. Let me see. Oh man, it's slow. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Trying to pull it up. Here we go. All right. Present. Share screen. Share. All right. So there we go. This chick, great. But you guys do realize that, like, people like that would never act like that in real life. Um, let alone be willing to face the consequences for that word. And this is what people build their brand on. Antisocial behavior, right? I don't care personally because I'm not black. It doesn't insult me. But like, this is antisocial behavior, right? And you look at this stuff and you realize, like, hey, um, how did we get here? And I'm telling you guys, it's that online shit where you just online all the time. You build a brand, and your brand is I'm racist, and you have to be that. right? You're catering to your audience, right? Like same thing happened. Dr. Jordan Peterson, he catered to his audience so much, and he went freaking crazy. Yeah, so online is not real. You know, part of a lot of why people are lonely is because they seek answers, they seek all their needs online behind the screen. Or like, listen, man, nothing is gonna give you meaning on a screen, right? You have to go out and do things, right? You have to go out and do things. Your projects that you've been putting off, the things you wanted to learn that you've been putting off, those trips with your friends, those activities with your friends you're putting off, that happens now. You don't leave that for tomorrow. You don't leave that, you don't prioritize the screen, right? Twitter will be here tomorrow, in a month, in a year, in 10 years. Twitter will always be there. Your friends will not, right? Um, Realize too that the holidays are just holidays. They're not that big a deal, right? They're a big deal because there's a lot we need a day to celebrate something, right? We need to celebrate these things because humans in our biology, we like to celebrate things, right? Whether it be a promotion, whether it be a winter solstice, whether it be winning a great battle, human beings like to commemorate things and celebrate things. That's normal. It gives you something to look forward to. It gives you time to pause and think. Thanksgiving, think literally about gratitude, right? Christmas is, the the birth of Jesus Christ and Christianity, right? Um, so it's normal, right? But there's going to be times where you're not going to participate, guys. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You had a Christmas where you spent it by yourself. It's not that bad, you know. Easy to say, right? Easy to say for some guys. There's some people that really um, have a tough time with this, but I promise you, it's going to be okay. You're going to. It's just a day, right? If you have no one to celebrate it, if things are do something special for yourself, right? If it's Thanksgiving and you got nothing, make yourself a nice little dinner, right? If you got a girl in the wings, say, hey, you want to come over and enjoy my nice little dinner? Buy yourself a really nice video game. You deserve it. You've probably been working hard. Play that shit all day. Eat some bad food, eat some candy. Like treat yourself. Um, because what happens when you start treating yourself good is that you really start thinking, wait, I deserve better, from people. I deserve how I treat myself. That's what I deserve from other people, right? And you start sorting. You start sorting for quality in terms of people, right? And at the end of the day, um, that's what you need in life. Your loneliness will only be taken away by quality people, not just people, quality people that hold you to a standard, people that call you out, people that praise you, people that celebrate with you, people that mourn with you. You know, those are the only people that'll take away your loneliness, right? And you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that person that just gets the first girl or hangs out with that guy just because they're so lonely, right? There's plenty of people like that. You don't need to be like that. Excuse me. Get off online as much as you can. Go out and live life, right? You don't again, the rad fems, the conservatives, the weird gamer girls that think they can say the N word online, right? Um, the white nationalists, the red pill spurgs, right? The black pills, the feminist, the OnlyFans, like whatever faction, internet faction that doesn't exist in real life, you see all of them in real life act like normal people for the most part, right? They hold open doors for you. They get lonely. The rat femmes fall in love with men all the time. The conservatives, they do freaky things. Um, the white nationalists, especially the girls, they look at brown men and be like, man, I wish that guy was white because he's hot, right? All these things happen in real life. They're just trying to convince you of something, right? And that example I just showed you guys is the perfect example. Like, that woman will never in public to a black person say that. She would never. She does not have the balls, you know. Um, and it's also disrespectful, right? But she catered to her audience way too much, just like Jordan Peterson, just like any other influencer who goes crazy to the point where now she's saying that, thinking that it empowers you, right? And I'll tell you what, like whatever you feel about other races, great. But I'll tell you this, as I go through life and I improve as a man and I get to meet people in different, I understand that different races and different groups of people and religions struggle with things, whether it be socioeconomic factors, whether it be reconciling past wars or reconciling past conflicts, or just, if every race has something they're dealing with, right? And I never have felt good denigrating a race ever for some reason. You know, Obviously I talk down on certain women, I talk up certain women, right? But that's all a joke and that's all preference, right? Like some girls don't prefer me because I'm Dominican or Hispanic or brown or whatever I am, right? But that's okay. I accept that I am not, most women don't like me, right? But um I've never felt the need to go after someone who, for things that they cannot change, right? And it's just so sad to see like people online just be like, "You're brown, you're stupid," or "You're this, you're that," right? I know it's not real, but it's just, how do you get there, right? And that's got to be lonely, guys. That's got to be lonely to think like that, to have this like little circle online that says, yeah, a white woman, say the n-word, or yeah, a person online, share your kids so the whole internet can see, or yeah, this, whatever, yeah, kick that girl off, yeah, this, be mean to women, whatever. It's just like, you have to have this like really tight circle of people that are constantly egging you on. And that, my friends, is extremely lonely, right? Because I don't, I want to be able to be able to connect with anybody and network and grow, that rather than be like, only I can only be friends with other racists, because of my online brand. But anyway, I digress, guys. Um so yeah, that's pretty much all I have on holiday and loneliness. I think the biggest takeaway, now least of loneliness, if you are, you're going to miss not having anyone or anything to do, right? You're going to miss these days when you have kids, when you have responsibilities and other things, right? So when you are going through these emotions, you are totally validating your emotions, right? But make the best of it. And if it really is that bad, please reach out for help. Um, to someone that loves you and cares about you. All right. Um, yeah, and that's all I have. Well, you guys know where to find me. I'm gonna put my link tree in the chat right here. Thanks for everyone watching me. Thanks for the guys on Twitch watching me. Okay, there's my link tree. It should show up. But yeah, I want to thank. So thank you to Nico for the $5 super chat. I appreciate your donation and your thoughts. Also, I appreciate Jorge. Thank you for your super chat and your thoughts, and adding to the show as well. But yeah, guys, that's all I have. So yeah, Patreon's up, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube memberships are open. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment below if you guys, if anything resonated with you guys, or if you have other topics. I will be streaming on Thanksgiving, but it'll be earlier, probably around 10 a.m. Oh, just talk and all that stuff. I don't think I'll have a topic, um, But yeah, I can't stream at night because I'm going to be doing Thanksgiving stuff, right? I'm hosting Thanksgiving for my friends this year. So thanks, guys, for watching, taking time to watch me, and I will leave you out with this little appreciation video I did for my 100th video. So have a good night, guys. Bye.
I come home in the morning like my mother says, when you gonna live your life right? Oh, mama dear, we're not the fortunate ones, and girls, we're gonna have fun. Oh, girls, just wanna have fun. The phone rings in the middle of the night. My father yells, what you gonna do with your life? Oh, daddy dear, you know you're still number one, but girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. That's all they really want. Some fun. When the working day is done. They wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. Some boys take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world. I wanna be the one to walk in the sun. Oh, girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun. That's all they really want. Some fun.
Where do you go when I close my eyes? When I finally realize you're not here